Thank you so much, Bill, and thank you to everyone here. I'm excited to get started and really learn more about your business as well. So do be sure to look at the chat box because the chat box is where I can hear you. Your mic is not going to come on, and do make sure you do mute your mic just in case it does come on, just for any reason, to make sure we get a good recording to anybody and it's a good learning experience to everybody in the room. Okay? Then also do know that that's where I can hear you best is in the chat box. I'm highly interactive. If you've never been in a session with me, you'll see that I do keep the questions and answers flowing as long as they're short. Now, if they are about a sentence to write, that's about a minute for me to read that. And all you see is the top of my head. So it's a horrible learning experience or educational environment, and I can save those till the end. Okay, so just wanted to keep that in mind that I'm not ignoring you if it's a longer question, but this is your time. So I do want you to make sure you can find that chat box because everything in there I will discuss and cover, even if it's towards the end. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Everybody can hear everyone all right. And if this is your first time in session with me, let me know by putting number 1 in the chat box. All right, just let me know that with a number 1. Perfect. Thank you, Steve, for being brave and being the first one to put your call out there that this is your first time in a session with me. Perfect. Everyone, thank you. Awesome. Great. It's so good to meet each of you. Just so that you know, my name is Maria Elena Duran. I'll talk a little bit about me, but Bill's already covered that. Really, for you, what you need to know is I do come from a small business background. So I've been 18 plus years in small business, and I have been 15 of that in international e-commerce. So I understand what it's like to be butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and now chief marketer, chief analyst, the head of social media, all of that in your business and still trying to serve your customer. So everything that I deliver today is 100% free, but also 100% doable in bite-sized pieces when you are handling all of those roles in your business. You will get a copy of today's slides. So let me go ahead and take us there. Hold on. There we go. And you can find those right now if you go to the link that I just dropped in the chat box. You can go there, or you can use the QR code that's in front of you or the link in the red box. It's the same as the one that I just dropped in the chat box. But that is the slides and the handout that I'm using today. And I wanted to be sure you have access to that right away so you can review it. And then later when you get the recording, it'll be helpful to you because you can use it as an outline as you implement customer-based focused marketing. All right, so that's everything that we're talking about today is how to launch your business with customer focused marketing. All right, so I'll just give everybody just one more second to do that. And again, remember, you do have that in the chat box. I want to say a big shout out to SCORE. Thank you again for SCORE being here. That is who you reach out to after this. If you have any questions, if you need any support, what is wonderful is they are widely experienced, which means that you get to take the experience and the value of other people's experience and not have to waste your time, energy, and money, which is so very crucial and limited in starting a business. And you could take advantage of that. So OPE, other people's experience, to me is more valuable than other people's money. So this is who I am, and I like to say welcome because we are going to be talking about launch your business with customer focused marketing. And as you can see here behind the slides, it is really me. So I will come on camera many times just because that's the kind of speaker that I am, but we are recording this. So do know that you'll get a copy of this probably tomorrow. We're going to be talking about launch your business with customer focused marketing. If you want to find anything Google or look for anything Google, you could just use that hashtag grow with Google. You can search that on any of the socials and you can find out a lot about Google there. But your SCORE mentors and your chapters are your resource. So do know who your local SCORE chapter and mentors are because again, they are there and vested in your success. You can find me on Twitter at the very bottom line at Maria Duran, or X as it's called now, or on me on Instagram, which is Marketing Coach Maria. And I'm happy to connect with you there. I always like to hear how people applied what they've learned. Today, we're going to be talking about the marketing funnel. All right. So that customer journey is critical for us to know. It is on us to be experts on our customer. This is so very important because the user content, the information that we're putting out for our actual customers makes a huge difference on where Google shows us up in search. And if you are not showing up within the first couple of pages of Google search, then people don't know you exist. They only research about that far, which is about 10 search results per page. So about 20 search results. And if they can't find you, then what happens is they don't know you exist exist. And if they don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. Yes, Sam, we are recording that. You'll get that copy probably tomorrow. And you can get a copy of the slides and the handout that I'm using right now, but only while we're in session. After that, it'll be emailed to you. But while we're in session, you can use that link that I just provided and you can get a copy of the slides and the handout. So you can follow along just in case you're on your mobile phone. And this is a very small screen for you. I understand that. So if you can, we'll talk more about how you can reach prospects, because remember what I just said, if they don't know you exist, they can't do business with you. You need to create awareness and understand where people who are buying from you or potentially can buy from you, actually where their awareness is as a consumer, as somebody who needs the service or solution or product that you have. Now, as we talk about all of this, you're going to hear me use the term buyer quite a bit. If you're a nonprofit, that's your donor, your volunteers, your friend raisers. If you are somebody who is, let's say, marketing services and speaking, those are your project managers, they are your event planners, those are who your buyers are, but it's the person that you eventually want to secure your product, service, or solution. We'll talk about how you can engage and influence that consideration, because that's important, and how you can actually pave that way to conversion. Again, conversion. What is conversion? Conversion is the success action that you want people to take. It is downloading that PDF, filling the contact form, calling, so actually calling or emailing you, watching that video fully through, leaving some information or filling out a survey, or buying from you, or becoming a donor, or as somebody who is a friend raiser or fundraiser. We'll talk about how you can build loyalty and encourage advocacy, because that is so important. People who already bought from you, the sales process that happens when people connect and they start actually trading their dollars or their money or their time for working with you, that all is something that takes know, like, and trust. And because it takes know, like, and trust, when they have that already, it's not that you're closing a sale, but you're opening a relationship. And of course, I always finish with a free recap of resources and then what you can do to apply what you learned, because knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. So let's talk about the marketing funnel. All right, let's talk about that customer journey, because we as marketers, because we've got to have that marketing hat on when we're working in our business sometimes. So as we're doing that, we need to know that it's important for us to make this meaningful to the people who will be consuming or need our product, service, or solution. So in this instance, we have a case study with Shon and Sharica with TW Tote. They are the ones who founded this, and they founded their business because of a need. They knew that they had to actually deal with themselves going to the office or to business meetings with a lunchbox that wasn't pretty. I mean, what goes to your kiddo's school doesn't mean that it can make it to the executive conference meeting or within any office. It may not just exude the style that you want. So for them, just like any other entrepreneur, they had a great idea, but they may not have been experts in running a business. They may be great tacticians, creators. They could be great inventors. That doesn't mean that they're great at running a business. So when you look at marketing, it's really important for you to be able to create that meeting and that storytelling. That's why with Shon and Sharica, they can tell the story of, this is what it was like when we first got started, or this is what it was like and what we were concerned about, the struggle that we were having. And they actually walk that walk, so they can tell a story that is very authentic, and to people who are listening who also are experiencing that same problem, they look at that and they think, oh my gosh, they get me, they understand. It's also about building relationships that help build that trust and credibility. We can't microwave relationships, everybody. There's many things that are fast forward now, but relationship building is still people to people. And that's important, because even if we have a product, when people have an understanding of the story behind the people and the brand, they are more likely to do business with that product or that business, because it's still that personal decision making that we do as people. And then also we can influence that customer along the journey. So what is that journey? How can we influence if we don't know what journey they're taking? So when we talk about the marketing funnel, we are talking about 4 specific areas of the funnel. And this is really the funnel to the T. And that's awareness, consideration, conversion, and loyalty. All right, you heard me talk about that just a moment ago briefly as we went through Shon and Sharica's story. But number 1 is awareness, consideration, conversion, and loyalty. So awareness is how are you currently reaching your customers? So if you think for a moment, take a step back because this is your session helping you improve in marketing your business. So how are you currently reaching your customers? How are they currently finding you? What are they searching for, right? So where is that reach? Are they all on TikTok? Are they all on LinkedIn? Maybe you're reaching them all by email. Maybe you meet them whenever you go to networking events. Maybe you are part of a community next door where you are, that's where you're reaching them through, is through that or through word of mouth referrals. How are you currently reaching your customers? And then when we look at how are they finding answers, how can we be considered? Because people want to do business with people who can help them either solve or avoid a problem or to be able to make the most of something that they're doing. So they are looking for something specifically. And are we connecting those dots for them? Because if they have to be the ones to do that, to figure out how what we provide actually works for them, then we are slowing down that process and actually we are becoming an obstacle to it because there are many, many more businesses and resources and vendors who that they can go to be able to help them solve and connect those dots quickly. So we want to make it easy for them to buy from us. And that's why it's on us to be experts on our customers. Then what can you do to turn leads into customers, people that you are connecting with? How do they become that best customer or client? And do they return? Are you taking advantage of the fact that you already have a relationship built with them and that they might return? Or even if you have a product where it's not a quick buying cycle like a consumable and maybe it's years or decades before they will ever buy from you again, are they referring you and recommending you to their circle of influence? And are you taking advantage of the fact that you're getting that halo effect of somebody who has no like and trust with a contact sphere now walking you in and speaking positively on your behalf? So how do we reach prospects? Well, first is awareness. How are you currently reaching your customers? I would love to know. Let me know in the chat box, okay? Okay, I see some word of mouth. Thank you. Liz Linda, thank you for doing that. Word of mouth, Instagram, Facebook ads. All right, a great variety, in-person, Facebook, and email. Google Business, perfect. Word of mouth and social media, wonderful, everybody. So you'll see many of what you're talking about. Oh, even text, SMS marketing. So text message marketing, perfect. So if you look at the 5 bullet points in front of you, those are around the average that we see that people are using or the most popular. And that is how a lot of people are reaching their customers. So for you, in order for you to reach your customers, if you're not reaching your customers yet, no worries, we'll get you there. One of the things you need to do is identify who that customer is. If your answer is anyone who fogs a mirror, that is code for I have no idea who I'm searching for. All right. You cannot focus on everyone and anyone that fogs a mirror. You do not have that type of Coca-Cola type money to reach out and touch everybody. And it's important to focus on a target audience and have a message that resonates with them. When they see it, they think, oh my gosh, they get me. Does that mean that you cannot serve anybody, everybody, and somebody? You absolutely can. You can serve them, but they are gravy and they are extra, but you don't want to miss that best client for your customer for you. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't want to cough in your ear. Flood. Oh, yeah, perfect. So this is Glenn. See that you're already getting set up so that you're ready and you are every effort as you launch is already very focused because you're going to really look and identify who is that best customer for you. So sit down and think about that for a moment if you haven't, because this is the number one struggle of small businesses. I have worked with small businesses for decades now, and I will tell you that the number one struggle is being able to find and focus on their target audience. Why? Because there's this feeling that if we don't try to reach everybody, we'll miss somebody and we'll not get enough business. But when you think about it, if you had all of your target audience and everybody else was just gravy, wouldn't that be best? Shouldn't your messaging to the target audience when you finally reach them be something that they're like, oh my gosh, I don't even need to research anymore. This is who I need to do business with. Do you have a brand for your business too? Because as you're reaching out, excuse me again, let me just take a quick drink of water. Hold on. Okay. So, was they're reaching out, can they find you? Are you well branded? It is something that they see you on your website, on your company profile on LinkedIn, you look the same. It's the same logo, the same colors, that same look, the same name when they're going to Instagram, to TikTok, to Facebook, to Snapchat, wherever they go, to Twitter, to interact with you. And then get your business online if you don't have it. Because I will tell you right now, businesses that are not online, people don't consider them at the top of their game. That's just the way things changed in 2020. As we all shifted to go online, those businesses that they felt like were really the ones they want to do business with, that have the longevity that they want from somebody whenever they're selecting who to do business with. They felt that the businesses, and still do, that they are online. And now, when you hear a lot of times people talk about retail location, 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 well, with digital, that is the location. It is the number one storefront. And 84% of us, 84% of us go here first to a mobile device when we're ready to know, go, do, or buy. So are you there? Because if you're not there, you don't exist. So as you identify your customers, these are 4 areas that you might want to focus on with them. How often do businesses hit their customer persona? Hit, what do you mean by hit, Darren? I don't understand the question. Rephrase it just a little bit and I will definitely answer that for you. Okay, so when you look and identifying your customers, it could be from any of these 4, it could be a combination. How often do they capture their customer persona? When you see capture, meaning like how often, do they convert? Do they convert their customer persona? Well, if their messaging is spot on with their customer persona, I see a lot of businesses that actually do capture because it resonates with them. For example, if you think, Darren, let's say that I am let's say I'm a working mom, right? So I'm a working mom and I have one little child, and I see all this messaging about, so I have one, let's say 3-year-old, and I see all this messaging saying, hey, are you a working mom with a college kid? Or what do you think about, people are deciding whether they're going to go to Alabama or they're going to go to Texas. What do you think? Are your kiddos going through pledging? Are they trying to, look and find the sorority or fraternity that they're looking for? So all that messaging is coming across, and they could do business with me, but I'm a mom of a 3-year-old. So it's not resonating. I'm not going to pay any attention to it. And if anything, I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm not going to go to that site. And if they're on socials, I will probably make sure that I see less of that kind of messaging. So it needs to be able to resonate and connect, or else people are not going to look at it. They get 12,400 messages on any given day. And because of that, they will take out and X out and block any messaging that does not connect with them. So if it doesn't connect, how can you convert? Because that's the number one part in order to build know, like, and trust, right? So in this instance, Metro Michaela is this. Now, can you have more than one persona? Yes. I know lots of businesses that focus on 6 or 5 different persona. That's great, as long as all your messaging is focused just on them. It is not anybody, everybody, and somebody, because if you focus on that, you'll get their second cousin, nobody. So as we look at this, you'll see how it's broken down through those 5 different bullet point elements that we just talked about. And knowing that is important. Does that mean that you can expand it later? You absolutely can. But you know what? I was working with a business that started a business they invented in his garage. He was making on his own about $300,000 a year is his sales from his garage because he invented a product. When he started focusing on persona, he realized that his best customer were women between the ages of 25 and 45 who were college educated and moms of 2 children. He found from his research that they went shopping online, and they actually were looking at 2:20 in the morning. That is when they had time to shop. He did not even post anything on socials till 2 o'clock in the morning. He scheduled it for then. All of his ads, everything ran then, because not because he couldn't serve everybody, anybody, and somebody. He could. His product is a dog product. Anybody with a dog could have worked for him, but he decided to focus on women between that age group and when they're there, and make sure his messaging is aligned for them, and the timing is when they are looking online. So he had the most eyeballs of his best potential customer with the messaging that resonated with them. He has now grown over the course of time to 8.1 million. He has a huge team that he works with, and he's international. But I saw that from his targeting, where he was losing before is he was going after everybody, veterinarians over, he was looking at dog breeders. He was looking at doggy daycares. He was all over the place. And when he focused, and he's not maxed out his target audience yet, not in the least. Now, has he maxed him out in the US? Almost. That's why he's spread to Canada and to the UK. Has he maxed him out in the world? Not at all. All right. So when you brand your business, look at your logos and colors. They have a lot of meaning. Make sure that something that people see one place is what they see elsewhere, because that brand consistency, that consistent look and feel of your brand is what builds trust. When we see you changing things, and understand, small business owners, I know I've seen you change names and handles of different socials several times. We get bored with it before anybody even realizes it exists. So they're not even aware of it by the time we get bored with it. Consistency is key. That does build brand trust. All right. What research methods did he use? He used his Google Analytics, and he used mouse flow. Yeah, it was mouse flow. Yeah, it's Mouseflow. I want to make sure I had said that right, the right name. But that's what he used: Google Analytics, Mouseflow, and then now later he utilizes Triple Whale, which actually brings in Google Analytics, Facebook Insights, TikTok Insights, Pinterest Insights, all of that. He learned quickly that Pinterest is great for his market, but also Pinterest drove traffic to his Amazon store. And while he loves that he gets visibility on Amazon, he also knows that he pays a higher percentage of cost of goods sold, so he makes less money there. So he works really, really hard to make sure that he shows up to his best customers so they go directly to his site. So yeah, he really has done the research. I'm a data geek, so I definitely look at everything from what does, direct search mean, to how many people in real time are actually connecting and clicking. So he definitely does that. And I appreciated the opportunity to work with him. Yep, that's exactly what he used. So if you're not utilizing Google Analytics, make sure you reach out to your SCORE chapter or your SCORE mentor to teach you how to do that, or have me come in to do that, because understanding those metrics, that's so rich with data, but you need both Google Analytics and Google Search Console can let you know what people are looking for and really give you a deeper understanding of how people consume information on your site. And it's on you to be experts of your customers. So that's why I do lean into that research, because it helps you be that expert and really help them along their journey. So when you brand, we were talking about consistent branding. You're very welcome. So when you're talking about consistent branding, you really need to know who you are, because not only is it resonating and connecting with what people are looking for, so that persona, but are you a business or a product that aligns with things that they value, right? Who they want to be and what you stand for. So it's important for you to know that. A brand positioning statement really talks about that, your target audience and who you offer. What are you so well known for? You really need to not just discover your brand, but also to express it and engage it, since we are all highly social and we utilize a lot of social tools to go look at social credibility or even to discover different products. So for you, this brand positioning statement to me is one of the most valuable things that you're going to get out of the handout. And this is what I would say about 92% of small businesses don't do. They just go by the seat of their pants, and they go ahead and do and make every decision by gut. And that may have gotten you here, but it won't get you to the next level. The brand positioning statement is really important. Who is that audience? Remember what I said, you can have 3, 5, 6 different audiences, but you can't have everyone, because you don't have that kind of time, energy, and money to reach everyone and to be that effective. So laser focus, go deep into one. And as you build and grow there, if you ever max out the ability, if there's just not enough women between the ages of 25 and 45 who are college educated with small children, and if that's your target audience, then you can start expanding out. But do know, or maybe you have another angle of your service that serves maybe the spouses or the parents of a woman who is of that demographic and psychographic. Who's the customer and what's the customer challenge, right? What's your company? What makes you so different? You need to be the one to pull that out. And then also, what's the brand promise? All right, I see a long question there. I can't read that quickly enough, but if you'll save it to the end, I'll come back to it, okay? And I might ask you to copy it, right? Yes, there's the example right there, Darren. See, you're already, we're like we're in sync, great minds. So there, you know what, the end, there's a lot of theory about color, and I encourage you to do some Googling about color theory. Some people, believe red is passion and red and orange is quick. So you might want to use that, red and yellow in a McDonald's. There's a reason they use that because they don't want us hanging around Mickey D's for a long time. But I would look into that because there are different things. I know that black is authoritative, blue is very believable, that believable blue. Attorneys will tell you that even when people are testifying, that's what they want them to wear. But look into color theory because there's a whole study about that. Okay. So there's a brand positioning example. Again, if you just logged in, I'm going to drop right there. That's how you can get a copy of the slides right now that I'm using. So you'll have those to go back to until you get a copy later tomorrow, as well as the recording. Okay. Hey, I wanted to take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, Shortform, which is a wonderful tool to help you be able to work smarter, not harder, by being able to take tremendous amount of information and get to the actual gist of it. Really, all of the key points from blog publications to articles to actual videos in YouTube to books. You have all of that available to you through Shortform, and I've got a free trial available for you utilizing this link. Every week I do the Google update, which every Wednesday the audio format comes out in our free community, and then on Thursdays you get it by email. How I'm able to do that because I look at 65 to 70 different sources, again from video to actual articles and publication, is I'm able to utilize Shortform to help summarize and look at exactly what is the key points that would be of most interest to me and whether or not I should delve in deeper so that I can apply how you can actually apply that as a small business and content creator, making the most use of an update for you. I utilize Shortform. Feel free to use this link for your free trial. If you decide to subscribe also using that link, you'll get 20% off, which is great because for the price of one book, you have access to all of this, and it truly is very focused and complete. It is the best tool that I get to use, and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you again to Shortform for sponsoring many of the audios in this video. So when you get your business online, this is how often many of us, I tried to say that too quick, bring our businesses online is from social media directories and online marketplaces. For those of you who are local, you might look just at local directories. You don't want to go wide as you want to go specific. And I hope you've learned that just in the few minutes we spent together, because local is hyper focused, and if you can do that, that gets you a lot more lift if your business is local. Now I understand if it's not local, but a lot of people like to nail it before they scale it, which is they focus on local, they make sure everything's streamlined and working well, because local people usually know them from another role. You're the PTA mom, they see you at taekwondo or maybe at Little League or at church, or they went to school with you, but you have a specific reach and communication with people locally. It also helps you get to the 65-star reviews or 120 5-star reviews if you're an e-commerce store that you minimally have to have to compete nationally. So I like to do that locally because a lot of people knew you from another role, but they still know your work ethic, so they can give you a good review, and it can help you get the 60 minimum for a brand, 65-star reviews, 120 for an e-commerce store. All right. You can also build your own website, because do understand that when you are on socials, that's rented land. Just think about that for a moment. What would you do? It happened just about 3 months ago, the Meta Armageddon, when nobody could get into Instagram or to Facebook. What happens if you can't connect with the people that you actually connected with there? What happens to the pipeline and the flow of your business? Do you have a strategy to address that? Because that can happen and does happen often, especially as social tools and platforms upgrade and change, or even become pay to play. All right, so think about that. A lot of businesses I work with, their first strategy is to how to get their email address. So they work really hard. You'll see them on social say, enter for this drawing, or tell us about this, or we'll feature you on this in our newsletter or on the banner of our actual Facebook page. They will try to get their email address because they know if socials go away, they have no other way to connect with these people. and email at the very minimum can keep them connected. And email marketing is very strong when it's a targeted message too. So that is one strategy that a lot of people do work through first when they're in social, because they know they don't want to lose those connections. Those are their connections. Then also, if you don't have a Google business profile, you need one. If you're home based, you can still have one and suppress publishing your address on Google, so you do not have to publish your address. If you are even online, you need one. I can teach you how to get that, but so can your score mentor. So get with your score mentor. And if you want me to go in depth in a session, score members or chapters, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. I'll definitely come back. But you can find out more by going to google.com/business. And that is how you can control your information on Google search and Google Maps. So now that we've got awareness, how do we engage and influence? Remember the funnel. It started with awareness, consideration, conversion, and then loyalty. So we've talked about awareness quite a bit. What about conversion? How do we get them to take that success action that we want them to take, that moves them closer through the path to purchase to us? So what they're doing when they're considering is they're evaluating your brand. They want to know whether or not you're a viable brand for them to work with. Are you real, or are you just fishing for information from them online and their payment information? Who are you? So they do want to vet you, because they know how easy it is that people can just throw up websites and do business with you or create a social profile. I'm sorry? No, I take questions in the chat box so that it's a good recording for everybody. So could you do that, please? Thanks. Yes, just as a reminder to everybody, find that chat box, because this is your session, but I need you to do that so it's a good session for everybody, because sometimes questions can be very long, and I need you to just distill that down into text. All right, everybody? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And just again, make sure your mics are off, everybody, because we don't want background noise, even fans that are going on in summertime. Sometimes are that hum that can just be picked up by a mic real quickly. Then also they're gathering information. So again, that depends on their actual awareness, where they're at, right? People have different awareness levels. That's one of the things that I talk about in a lot of the other sessions that I do, is you might, let's say, people who are potential consumers or customers for you could be totally unaware that they have a problem. They just think the struggle is real, this is the way things are, and so they're not looking for solution. But then somebody who does realize they're unaware, but now they're problem aware, they realize there is a problem. There is something there. They have no idea what the solution is, but there is something that's just not working. It's taking too much time. It's becoming an issue for them. Then you have solution aware. So you have unaware, you have problem aware, and now you have solution aware. They know, okay, you know what, my schedule is crazy. There's time management tools out there. So I know that there's a solution, and I might start reading a book like The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People or Get Things Done. I might look at some time management sites and blogs, but I don't really know who the solution provider is, just that there's a solution. Then I become provider aware. So again, we're going through unaware. They are now problem aware. They are solution aware. They are now provider aware. But the last is when they are aware that you are the provider of choice. They know that you help them avoid any pitfalls before they get there. So they've got no like and trust with you, and they will step over dollars to do business with you. You see, when we try to connect with people when they are at the point where they are product aware, now we get into what's known as being a commodity. And when people shop and compare on commodity, we then become competitive on price and price alone. Okay, so in consideration, we do need to do all of these things to develop the relationship. With the recording, I am not sure if they will. I know I will. Well, actually, I think Bill, you'll get a copy of the chat questions there. Plus, I do address them always. So Denise, just know that I do say them out loud when I see them. So I do read them out loud and then I answer them. Okay. So we'll listen, learn, and communicate and deliver value, and also develop relationships, because remember what I said about people doing business with people. So we want to know what matters most for our customers, because again, it is on us. It is all on us, all that heavy lifting to be experts in our customers. We need to know that the words that they're using actually are, when they're searching, match what we have on the site. So we need to match them. If we're saying we're pediatric dentists, right? So we're all about pediatric dentistry and care, and they're looking for who can straighten my 13-year-old's teeth. who has braces or Invisalign, then we're not matching. So number one in the three pillars of Google search that make up the algorithm, that secret sauce everybody's asking about, is relevance. How well do you match what people are searching? If you don't match their own words, then you're not showing up. So you need to know that. And that is the beauty and superpower of we as small businesses, because we can reach and connect with our customers pretty directly and find out how they're searching compared to a larger company, which may need to do a survey and come up with a committee that can do that to even identify who those customers are to talk to. So as we listen and learn to customers, we can realize what is it that's their challenges and what they are searching for. Again, utilizing those words. Let's see, I've got a question here. You have over 900 followers on Instagram and I can't convert to customers. What could I be doing wrong? Oh, Thomas, there are so many things that could be flowing wrong there. It could be from what they see on Instagram and Facebook, and so they're just looking and they're not right there. They could be that they're unaware or that they're just now problem aware. So it could be where they're at in their awareness. It could be that when they go to your site, you take them to the homepage. Biggest mistake of everybody, they always take them to their homepage, and because that's the second biggest mistake. Number one is you don't have a strategy to reach a target audience, so you don't know who your persona is, and you're not speaking languages and messaging that connects with them. But number two is we take them to the homepage. Our homepages a lot of times are a hot mess, right? It's our junk drawer. We just throw everything there because we're so excited to get everybody to come to our site that we want to show them everything. But if you told them on Facebook, I'm going to show you these great heirloom tomato recipes, then you better earn that trust by taking them where you told them you're going to take them. And you take them to the heirloom tomato recipe on your site, take them directly to that page, and then earn the right on that page to say, hey, did you ever want to learn how to grow heirloom tomatoes and how to be able to care for them? We've got a lot of products and services and different things that they can do, they can subscribe to, so they can do that. Now you earn that right to take them there. So what are they looking for? What words are they using? One of the best ways, if you already have customers, is to look at your reviews, because in their own words, people are telling you what matters most to them. It's not about us. When we align with our customers, it's all about them. And while we may have been right there with them when we invented or created this business, we now have experiential knowledge and time that's been applied to us. So we're not on the same page as they are. We're not using the same words because we've delved now into the industry, and we may even be using industry speak. So we need to know what are the words that they're using. If you don't have customers yet, read your competitors' reviews. Competitive research is so important because now you can take advantage of that OPE, other people's experience, and really see what your competitors are looking at. And it also helps you see what words people are using to find them, so you can start incorporating those words into your online presence. And it also gives you the opportunity to see where there could be some gaps, and that could be opportunity for you. So when you're looking at Google search, there are several places that you can actually see and search to find out what people are searching for. You can utilize Google Trends. That's a free tool you can use to do that, but let me show you something. I'm going to do a live demo real quick. Give me a moment because I've got to go ahead and switch screens because it is on a second screen and I need to go bigger. All right, somebody drop the kind of industry that you're in. I don't need the name of your business, but I need to know what kind of industry, and just drop that into the chat box. I'll go with the first one that I see there. Okay, wellness. I'm going to say health and wellness, okay, right now. You know what? I'm just going to say wellness. I'm going to go with that because you're the expert of what you do. All right, so when I'm typing wellness in, okay, so who said wellness? It was Polly. All right, Polly, when we look at wellness, see how it starts auto-populating everything. Now it's picking up my location. I'm at the base of the panhandle of Texas, and so it's picking up my location, but understand it is picking up when you start typing and it's auto-filling. These are currently actively searched words. That's what Google is filling this with. All right. So those are some keywords that would match. If you match these words that people are looking for and saying, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, now you can show up there where they're looking. You have a chance to get those eyeballs looking because you're aligning with the words that they're using. All right. Let's say we're just going to look at wellness. I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm not going to let it pick that up right now, even though it is picking some of that. See, it's picking some of that from my IP address already. I could change that to go for the entire United States if I wanted to. But let's go ahead down. Let's say I want to look in my local area. If I didn't want to look, I would go into an incognito browser. So I wouldn't be showing my location, or use a VPN, a virtual private network. So when I look down here, these are also popular questions people are asking right now. Google puts that right at the very top because that's are actively being asked, and they know that people are going online who are looking for wellness, looking for, more often than not, these 4 questions. Are you answering those 4 questions on all your content that you put out, on all your socials, on all your videos, on YouTube or any of the video channels, Instagram Reels, Stories, TikTok, Snapchat? Are you answering these questions? Because these are where the eyeballs are right now. These are the exact words people are looking for. Let's go ahead and scroll down. People also search. These are also active, 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 active. Again, are you addressing this? If you're the expert, man, I would delve into a lot of these topics. I might do a whole YouTube video on how I can lose weight in 7 days naturally, and then cut it up into snippets. So I don't like to remake content. I like to repurpose content. So long form video, maybe about 5 minutes. You can only use about 60 seconds on YouTube Shorts. That's a hard stop at 60 seconds. Or maybe I want to make it a 15 to 20-second TikTok, even though it can go longer. We know that most people pay attention only during half the first second in TikTok. So as you look at this, I might put and break down, there could be 15 different TikToks that I'm putting out there, or some Instagram stories and reels, because I cut up a long form video that I did that was about 5 minutes in YouTube. But let's go down here. And one other place is people also search here. Those are keywords, everyone. So when you hear keywords, that means those are words that people are actively searching in their own words to find your product, service, or solution. Okay? All right, so make sure you take a look at that. Those are some of the places that you can look instantly. You can also look in Google Trends. I'm not going to do a whole training on Google Trends, but I will show it to you. There we go, Google Trends. Let me show you what that looks like. It looks like this. It is 100% free to use. Okay, oops, a little bit big. So if I go to wellness here, we can see in the past day what states people are searching for it, what topics they're actually searching for around it, and how they're doing. So breakout, if you ever wanted to be at the beginning of a trend, this is how you're at the beginning of a trend. If you ever wish that, oh, I wish I would have used that song or danced beforehand, well, now this is the beginning of a search trend. It's breaking out, which means I can showcase and be there at the forefront of thought leadership or product leadership by bringing this topic up, if that's what I'm involved with. Or I could also decide to put ads towards it, and it wouldn't be expensive, Google ads, because Google hasn't recognized that it's a popular term yet, because that's a breakout term. So you can see, you can even focus on different areas. We want to see that North Dakota, what are they searching for? Okay, so they're searching more for family wellness, more in Fargo than anything. So we can see it's mostly in Fargo and Bismarck. So we can see all of that here. You might even want to look past the past hour. Maybe there's not enough searches for that, so I want to look for the entire United States in the past hour, what people have been talking about wellness. Or maybe I want to look in the past 12 months, or I want to look on YouTube what people are doing, so that I'll have an idea of what I'm going to make my video on later today, because this is what people are asking about. It's specific to Florida and California. So that is how you can use Google Trends. Again, we have a whole session that actually goes in depth with Google Trends, and I'm happy to come back and talk about that, or reach out to your SCORE mentor. Okay, everyone? How often do the topics change based on the algorithm? You saw that, right? Every hour, it could be 7 hours, right? So you can look at that. Google search is highly, highly active. Understand there's a lot of AI generative search behind it. So there's AI search behind it. So just like I was talking about, this is Google Trends. Search it, explore it yourself, play around, look at your business, because I wasn't able to get to everybody's business listed here in chat. Take a look at that, because now you'll have an idea of what people are actually looking for. And if you can align with it, even better. We were working with a veterinarian in Corpus Christi, and it happened to be in Corpus Christi, Texas that day, that particular day. People were searching for the cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi. He wasn't the cheapest, but he did a video, email marketing and post saying, we're not the cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi, but we are the best because we treat your 4-legged family member like family. These are the 5 things that make us different. That's everything that he did. So he aligned with what they're looking for, the cheapest veterinarian in Corpus Christi. But if you're looking for the cheapest, but you're still tugging at your heart because, this is my fur baby, then that is who he was looking for. That is who his best customer is. So, okay, I do hear some mics still on. Please make sure you turn off your mic. Do mute it so that we have a good recording for everybody. Somebody was coughing a minute ago, so if you could do that, that would be great. All right, so we need to communicate effectively by sharing content that's valuable. Valuable to us means nothing. It has to be of value to the people who we're trying to do business with. And we need to be able to connect those dots to how that can be valuable to us. Does that mean that they're going to be more of a customer, or are they more of a referral source? Are they somebody who could give us a good review? Maybe they're a past customer, or they're somebody who could buy again. All right, so we need to know exactly who these people are so that we can communicate and inspire them with information that matters most to them. Oh, with the Google Trends website? Sure. There you go, Melissa. Thanks for asking. So Google Trends is a great tool. I use it all the time, every day. In fact, a lot of times, Melissa, what I will do is you can do this. I'm going to show you something real quick. You can go to, let's say, wellness. I'm going to show you here. Sorry, I've got to switch to my other screen. There we go. All right. So we could do wellness. And then let's say I had a wellness center. So let's say I was Maria's Wellness Center. Okay. Or I'm going to give me a name of a wellness center. Okay, I got to Google this. Wellness. Let's see. Let's get that out of the way. I'm just going to pick up a name here. Salt Haven Wellness Center. And Wellness Center. And then I could pick another one. Health, inertia, health and wellness. Okay, I'm going to look at this one. All right, so if those were my competitors, I could just click that. I could come up with and share that. Sometimes I'll just do that in Twitter, pick up the link from there, and then I'll just save that link. And I'll always come back to it so that every day when I'm having my coffee, I can do a competitive comparison on what people are talking about and what they're finding who the most from. So I can see blue is wellness, red is Salt Haven, yellow is inertia, right? So if I wanted to take wellness away because that's such a big topic, and I wanted to just look at just these two, I'd need to go more than the past 30 days because there's not been enough search for them. And I can see more people are looking for inertia. If I was Salt Haven, to get some of that, I would be in Texas. I would need to find out what words people are using to find inertia. So that's what I would start looking at and reading their reviews. All right? Because again, in the reviews, in their own words, that's what they're showing you. Oh, the 3 pillars. Yes, the 3 pillars. Darren, I didn't go over them. I just went through the first one, which was relevance. The second is distance. How far are you from the person that's searching? And the third is prominence. What's your quality score? Do you have video? When was the last time you uploaded video to your site? Do you have reviews? Do you respond to your reviews? When was the last time you got a review? When was the last time you updated your site? Do people find your site helpful, or do they leave right away? So do they spend a lot of time on your site? That is your prominence and quality score. Okay? So as we communicate, you can do that through social, email, YouTube, all of these places is where it's available for you to be able to connect with people, to be able to share information, and you can always repurpose your content. Don't think that you have to come up with new content all the time. If I put something on social, then that makes a great email. I'll put it as a paragraph on email. It also will make a great YouTube video. Oftentimes I start with video because I can turn video into social posts by just using the transcript and taking pieces out of that. And I can also create it into a blog and an email. Same thing with podcasts. YouTube and podcast to me are one and the same because it's an audio and video recording. But you might want to do online publishing or share it actually on your website. So there's lots of ways you can do that. And if you use the blue link at the very bottom there, you're very welcome, Darren. You can use that blue link. It'll give you more ideas there too, okay? But again, it's about sharing. We don't want to be sold. All of us want to buy though, but none of us want to be sold to. We don't like salesy. So that's why I spent the time to talk to you about how to find keywords in search and how to be able to look at Google Trends, because you want to give them information that's helpful to them, not salesy. So you can see those are 5 different ways you can do that too with the information that you find. And then now you can develop relationships because you're helping them avoid pitfalls. You're helping them look at things that they may not have considered. You're helping them get the information that they need to make a good decision or to be able to do what they need to do in their life to be able to get them to the point to make that good decision. So in this example, Tracy and Danny, mom and daughter team, they created Wicked Good Cupcakes. And I actually heard about them first on Shark Tank. Never had a chance to work with them till we hear on the Google team. But you can see that they wanted to grow their business. So one of the things that they found on their website when they looked at their Google Analytics was that people were coming to the calendar all the time. But if it wasn't Mother's Day, Easter, or if it wasn't, let's say Mother's Day, Easter, and Thanksgiving, they weren't buying much from the site. They'd look from the calendar. So what they would do, they'd see people go to the calendar on the website and then they just leave the site. Or they would see that they go to a competitor because you can track all that in Google Analytics. So they wanted to keep them on their site. They know, like Amazon, the longer people stay on your site, the more money and the more opportunity you have to really earn their business. And they decided on those calendar pages to put a new calendar and say, you know what, in the US, every day's a calendar. This is Take Your Daughter to Work Day. This is National Nurses Day. This is I'm going to walk as a family day. Whatever you're going to do, they were able to package it. So now when people came to that calendar, they were able to pick up their personal package and it took them deeper into their actual website. So they were able to solve for that by looking and understanding what their customer was actually doing on their site. You would do the same thing if you had a physical store. You know, if they came in all in a physical store all morning long and went to aisle 1 and aisle 3 and they left all morning long, and then in the afternoon they went to aisle 1, 4, 3, and then they bought, you'd have questions. Is it the people in the morning that are different from the people in the afternoon? Is there something on aisle 4 that is causing them to buy, or something in aisle 1 that's distracting them, or aisle 3 that they don't like to buy? What is it? And I would actually look at that. So it's the same thing for your website. They come into page 1 and 3 and they leave 1 and 3, but then in the afternoon 1 and 4 and 3, and they buy, or they take that success action that you want and leave their email address. Now you want to know, who is this person and what is it that you have that can encourage them to do more? So when we look at conversion, that's what that's about. How are we influencing them, right? How are we understanding what actions that they need, what will help support them, and what will keep them, but not only keep them on our site, but give them a good experience so they'll give us a good review and also share us with their contact sphere. So some things that are conversion actions are they can sign up, they can download something, maybe they want to be a part of a trial or something, so trial or demo. Maybe if it's an app download or a consultation. So it could be any of these 7 items, sometimes even more. But those are the 7 most popular ones. And timely calls to action are important because we all get so much information in any given day. Because of that, when we don't tell people what to do next, if they get a text message or the dog has an accident or they have to run out to go do something, they don't remember what they were going to do when they left off. But a call to action helps them remember, that's right, I wanted to sign up for that exclusive offer. That's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay? So we need to streamline that purchase because, again, they might not have no like and trust with us, but if we make it difficult to buy from us, if it's 2:20 in the morning and I'm laying in bed and now I want to buy this item that he's selling, and so I go to look at it and it doesn't give me any opportunity to pay with anything except for my credit card, and I don't have my credit card memorized, am I going to get out of bed and go get my credit card, or am I going to go to another site? You'll be surprised. People will go to another site. So he gives them every opportunity to use Google Pay, Apple Pay, Amazon Pay, Shop Pay, Klarna, whatever you need. He's there. PayPal. If you've already got it in there and it's connected and you can just press a button, you're good to go. So understand Google Analytics lets you know exactly how people are consuming information and which information is truly connecting with those customers. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, Darren. I appreciate the shout out. You can also utilize online advertising, and I'll leave that slide there. I'm not going to talk about it though, because I don't want anybody to do anything paid until you've optimized and maxed out everything free available to you. This is the third problem that I see small businesses run into. And the biggest challenge is that they are out there ready to promote, because as soon as you put your shingle out, everybody, oh, can't hear me? Some people can't hear me? Let me know in the chat box. Could have been glitchy internet. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. But understand that whatever you whatever you're promoting and advertising, that's just promoting what you have. So if it's chaotic and people don't know what to do yet, then all you're doing is promoting chaos. Don't put money behind anything until you know completely that you've maxed it out and it's aligned with that best customer. That's when you promote it out. I test things organically first. Some people do the other thing. You know, if they have a lot of money to play with, they might put a lot of money behind it and put traffic out there because they know in a couple of days, traffic meaning people clicking and coming to your website. So that's what traffic is. But they may not put it out there for 2 days because they just want to find out an answer real quick, and then they'll stop that. So that helps them get the volume that they need to make some good business decisions. Now, when we look at loyalty, what do you do? Thank you, everybody, for the confirmation in the chat box. When we look at loyalty, we look at building loyalty through providing some sort of value. Okay, that's really important for you to do. And encouraging customers to do that is important, to advocate for you. Now, one of the best ways you can do that is by staying in touch with them, but then also respond to your reviews. 97% of businesses do not say thank you for a good review. We focus on the negative. That's just human nature. We see a negative review, we see a great review, we overlook it, or we read it and have a good feeling, but we never respond. Remember, somebody reaching out to you like that, that's a conversation, and nobody wants to speak to somebody who doesn't listen to them, okay? So these are lots of different ways. Again, you're going to have this in your handout. And if you were late coming to, no worries. We understand, but I'm going to drop it here. Where is it again? There it is. There's the link. And I'm going to drop it here in the chat box so you can get a copy of today's slides and the handout. All right. Online reviews, do know that people look at this. This is where a lot of people make major decisions when they look at online reviews. But these are ways that you can encourage your customers to advocate. They might want to help you and share you with their friends, but they just don't know how. Help them by sharing with them different ways and reminding them too. Now with reviews, remember what I said about being able to say thank you for those reviews. That's so very important. And I just did a session on unlocking visibility, and we actually talked about the different review responses that you can utilize. So if you're interested in that, score chapters, let me know. I'd be happy to come back because anybody can advocate for you. Customers, employees, partners, vendors, and even influencers. But again, if you don't ask for reviews, if you don't engage them, you're not going to be able to get those reviews, okay? All right, deep breath, everybody. We've just spent 60 minutes together, and I know we're 1 minute over time, so I am very highly focused in getting done, but I want to make sure that I answer questions too. So what's your action plan? All right, because knowledge is not powerful until it is applied. So I've given you great information today, but until you apply it, it's not helpful to you. So please do apply it. What is that action plan? It could be that you're trying to figure out, are you stuck on awareness or consideration? Is that where your funnel's stuck? It could be that your funnel is stuck on the lower part of the funnel, conversion and loyalty. You've got awareness already, and people already are clicking and trusting and buying from you, or looking at you, but they haven't bought from you, or they haven't done the success action that you want, and they're not loyal. So it could be any of those things. Your number one resource is SCORE. All right, everybody, just so you know, I'm one person, but SCORE is many with mentors and lots of variety of experience. I love that because you can find somebody who has some basic experience that you do, or even in another industry that you're targeting. You can also find people who can recommend locally too. Okay? And if you want to connect with me, if you use that bit.ly link at the top, it brings up all my socials. Connect with the one that you use the most. I'm happy to connect there. But of course, I'll be back again for another SCORE webinar. And Bill, I'm so excited that I was able to be here today. And I'm so grateful that we finally got things going. I apologize. My internet was not working with me earlier when I was trying to log into Zoom. So don't hold that against me, but I am going to model what I do talk about, which is when you've given good product, service, or information, ask for a review, because people will give you a review if you ask, but they don't have to, but at least give them the opportunity. So I do ask, and I would be very grateful and honored for your review if you would like to give it. But again, you don't have to, okay?